Okay, so the next presentation, ergonomic, yes, no, and maybe. I can figure out which button. There we go. So, over the years, many of you have heard me talk about ergonomic tools. No, the ergonomic, always in quotation marks, is something ergonomic, is it not? So today, we're going to talk exactly about that. So let's remind ourselves of the main risk factors for injury. Posture, force, repetition, vibration, and temperature. An ergonomic tool or piece of equipment needs to address some, if not all, of these risk factors to truly be ergonomic. Oops. Bear with me. So to begin with, we've actually set this up as a bit of a game show. So I would like to invite Bonnie and Bob to come on up and take your respective spots at your podiums. Bonnie, Bob. Bob, you have a handheld mic. Bonnie, you can use the podium. So Bonnie, tell us a bit about yourself. And look straight ahead.
I'm an HR manager for Tick Machine in Anishinaabe.
Perfect. And Bob. Oh, it's not bad.
I'm a supervisor at Valet at the laboratory.
Excellent. Okay, so the rules are simple. First one to say moo, when I show an image on the screen, gets a chance to answer first. The winner of today's competition gets a limited edition O-Cow Stress Cow. Okay, this is what you're playing for today. Big money. So, remember, moo is what you need to do.
Moo.
Bonnie, ergonomic, yes, no, or maybe?
No.
Exactly, no. What we're seeing is a pull-out keyboard tray that is not height adjustable. Therefore, it does not address posture, force, repetition, vibration, or repetition. Are we ready for the next one?
Moo.
Bob.
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Eh.
Oh.
While it is height adjustable, it does come out, but that articulating platform on the side is actually about 3 inches lower than the keyboard. So as a result, when you're typing, you're leaning like this. At the same time, that little articulating platform is very flimsy, tippy, and unstable, which means the mouse is always falling on the floor. So as a result, your mouse is always falling. You are going to eventually put it on the desk and work with your arm extended, with half the people in the audience nodding their heads saying yes. Okay, here we go.
Moo.
Bonnie.
No.
Bob.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
The keyboard and the mouse are at the exact same level. The keyboard tray adjusts up and down, and it's got a wrist rest to help promote neutral posture of the wrists. Just keeping score, by the way. I think we're tied right now, but yeah. Ernie, do you want to keep? Ernest, do you want to keep score? Perfect.
Moo.
Bonnie.
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
I gave it a maybe. The problem with these ergonomic keyboards is that it assumes everyone's got the same size hands. So if you've got smaller hands, you can really be reaching in order to type on these keyboards. Coincidentally, I did an ergonomic assessment on a doctor who actually developed tennis elbow from using one of these keyboards. Because instead of typing like this, she was typing like this and developed irritation of the actual elbow. So I give this one a maybe. There are keyboards on the market that you can actually control the spacing for to fit your own hand size. That would ideally be preferable.
Moo.
Bob.
No.
No. This is always one of my favorite ones. My wife went to a Pampered Chef party, came home with a slap chop. Hey, look, honey, it's an ergonomic food chopper. Really. Force, I'm banging this thing. Repetition, I'm banging this thing. Posture, every time I hit it, my wrist is completely deviating. There's nothing ergonomic about it. You want an ergonomic food chopper? Get a food processor.
Moo.
Bunny.
Yes.
Yes. This paintbrush allows for neutral postures of the wrist. So when you're painting, your wrists are actually straight as opposed to using a standard brush we were actually bending your wrists. So it's trying to promote a neutral posture of the wrist. You'll also see products like ergonomic knives for butchers that are out there with the same premise, helping to keep a neutral posture of the wrist when you're actually working. Office chair, it's kind of hard to see, but Bob, you moved in first.
No.
No. The reason for that, the armrests on the chair are fixed. They do not adjust up and down. So as a result, if you're sitting and you're typing and you're using your armrest, your shoulders are going to be like this. You're going to end up experiencing neck and shoulder pain. Remember, the armrest should be positioned just below seated elbow height to let your arms move freely.
Move.
Oh, okay. Help me out. Which one was that? That sounded like a tie. Okay, I'm going to go with Bonnie. Ladies first.
No.
No. The reason for that, well, there's no keyboard tray. His screen is definitely below seated elbow height. His chair is, well, I don't know what, like a kid's play school chair. Remember, ideally when we're in an office environment, the top of the monitor should be level with seated eye height. The keyboard and mouse should be directly at seated elbow height. So when we're using a laptop, ideally the laptop should only function as the monitor or even the hard drive. Ideally, we want an external monitor plugged in that's height adjustable with an external keyboard and mouse that's height adjustable on a tray as well.
Move. Yes.
Bob.
No.
Both wrong. Maybe. The reason I gave this one a maybe is because the product does not come with instructions. When you go to the local hardware store and look at the ergonomic snow shovels, it's just there. So when you go out and actually watch people using them, shoveling their driveway, they're actually still grasping down at the bottom and shoveling like they would with a normal shovel instead of using the upper two handhelds. So that's what I give this one a maybe, just because of the fact that there's no clear instructions on how to use them.
Move.
Okay, that doesn't sound very confident, but Bonnie, what do you think?
No.
No. The reason we say no to this one, these are actually armrests meant to keep your arms straight. Well, the problem is, one, they're not height adjustable, so you could be working like this. Two, that arm piece would actually create a pressure point on the other side of the arm, thereby cutting off blood flow and nerve supply. So yeah, a big no for that one. Ergonomic toothbrush.
Move.
Bob.
No.
No. The reason for this one, I say no for, is the actual duration and repetition. If the rationale for designing an ergonomic tool is to allow neutral postures of significant durations. If we brush our teeth like we're supposed to, 3 times a day for about 3 minutes, or singing happy birthday, in case you didn't know that, yes, singing happy birthday. So as a result, it doesn't warrant the purchase of a $20 toothbrush. I'm not going to pay $20 for a toothbrush. So as a result, I gave this one a no. How about the height adjustable handles? Now this is multifactorial because it's going to be, the left and the right are both going to have answers.
Maybe.
Maybe for both of them? We have the lady and the man.
Yes, for both.
Okay, Bonnie, I'm going to give you a chance to answer.
No.
No for both of them?
Yeah.
Well, you get a half point. No for the lady, because the mop is way up over her head. Yes for the gentleman. A handle should actually be located at mid-chest height, be it a broom, a mop, a snow shovel. To allow for natural position, you want it located at mid-chest height. These handles are actually height adjustable. You just stand on the broom, twist the handle, you can bring it up, you can bring it down. They work for dust mops, etc. Mop bucket. It's a 2-part answer as well for this one. So think and then move.
Move.
Okay, Bob.
No for yellow and yes for the green.
Exactly. Give him 2 points for that one, Ernie. The reason for that, what we call the tall Sally mop bucket. If you notice, it's flared on top and narrows at the bottom. It's also higher and has a longer handle. The important part, though, is the actual flare of the mop bucket. When you go to pour the initial bucket, about half the water is already gone with that initial pour. Compared to the yellow bucket, where you're basically, when you're going down, let's lift properly. When you're lifting properly and bringing that bucket up, you're lifting that weight throughout the entire lift. So as a result, the weight is a lot less for the tall Sally. Okay, this is going to be a three-parter.
Moo.
Okay, Bonnie.
No, maybe, and a yes.
Bob.
I'll say yes for the first one and no for the other two.
3 points for Bob.
Wow.
The reason for that is that the handle, the toilet brush handle for the first one is longer. The other two, where they have a bend in the handle to try and promote a neutral posture, they're still the standard handle length. So as a result, with using the other two, if I'm still cleaning the toilet, I'm still down like this doing it, as opposed to being able to stand upright and use the toilet brush handle. Dustpan.
Moo.
Bob.
Yes.
Yes, because as a result, it's got that longer handle. I'm no longer having to squat down to sweep up my dust or my dirt. I can stand straight and just sweep it on. So that's it.
Very good.
Our winner, Ernie? Bob. Bob
Mr.
is our
Bob.
winner. Here's your stress cow. Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you.
So just to wrap it up in conclusion, just because something says it's ergonomic doesn't mean it is ergonomic. And so as a result, I always have to caution people, buyer beware before buying. I always say, see if you can actually pilot test a new tool or piece of equipment prior to buying. Now, I often give an example of a work site I was in just about a year ago. They spent $30,000 buying new office chairs for their staff. It turned out when I went into that work site, those office chairs only fit 25% of the population. So 75% of them, the chairs were too deep for. If you remember in previous years, I've talked about seat depth. You should be able to put a fist between the front of the chair and the back of your leg. If you can't do that, you end up with a pressure point. Cuts off blood flow, cuts off nerve supply going into the legs. So as a result, this work site, $30,000, only 25% of the staff could use it, so then they had to try and send them back to the manufacturer and see if they would take them back. The manufacturer said no. So that's why it's so important to be able to try before you buy. Because as a result, this company's out about $20,000 because now they have to go back and get new chairs to fit the rest of the staff. Any questions at all? Chelsea, checking? No one has an example of a piece of equipment they want to know anything about? 2.0? Anything online, Chelsea?